Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode, I guess I could say, of Let's Go Live with Mrs. Pennsylvania. I am Mrs. Pennsylvania International, Tamara Abney, and I'm so happy that you were able to join me this evening. I am going to be welcoming two very, very special people tonight. I just wanted to be able to spend a little bit more time with them before I head off to Mrs. International on Sunday. So tonight, I am welcoming Miss Pennsylvania International, Sydney, and Miss Teen Pennsylvania International Rally. So I think they are ready. So I'm going to go ahead and let them in. Oh, the gang is all here, minus our preteen international, our little baby. But I didn't know if this topic would be appropriate for her as of yet. So I am happy that you two are here. So, and plus it's a little late.
I know.
for
I don't know what time her bedtime is, but it's about my bedtime.
It's definitely about my bedtime. So I thought it would be interesting for everyone just to talk a little bit about their platforms and then for us to talk about how our platforms actually intersect with each other. Because I think it's interesting for everyone out there that may not be familiar with pageantry to know that just because you are really advocating for one thing doesn't mean that you can't support someone else's passion or someone else's platform. So it's really important that we're showcasing everyone's, and I think that's what tonight is all about. Sydney, I think you are frozen. So yes, we're still on. So Sydney, if you want to jump off, I'll let you back in. But Riley, do you want to start talking a little bit about your particular platform?
Yeah, sure. So I created Project Here as my own organization about like 4 years ago. When the pandemic like first hit and we were coming out of it, I was in sixth grade when it about happened. So the way our school works is we have three different elementary schools and we all like come together as one in middle school. So that's when I was meeting a lot of new people. I was getting walking through a schedule down, the stresses and open a locker for the first time was very interesting. But I was also newer to the district, so I didn't know a lot of people and I didn't really have like a ton of friends. So that was an exciting time to start making friends. And unfortunately, at that time, it did get cut short because of COVID. So we went into lockdown, and during that time, I struggled really like bad with my mental health. And also at the time, my biological father was also struggling with addiction, and it just became a very unhealthy living environment for me. So that was a very hard decision for me to make at just like 15 years old, to decide to put my mental well-being in front of someone that's my like biological family. So that took a real big toll on me. And also during the pandemic, that's when I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression. But since we were still in the midst of things weren't fully open, we couldn't fully go to the doctor's office 100% in person. There was a lack of mental health resources, especially for teenagers. So I was put on a waiting list that was supposed to be 6 months that turned into 2 years. And took up until my freshman year of high school. Mind you, I'm about to be a junior in high school. I'm going into my junior year. But at the end of my year, I finally got into a therapy through our school. It wasn't even through the waiting list I was still on. And unfortunately, at that time, some personal family issues happened between my stepfather and my mom. They were going through a separation, and that was a big toll on me and my family. And it's kind of upsetting to see that it took that long and that bad had to happen for me to finally get a resource I needed for a problem that needed solved right then and there at the time period. So that's why I created Project Here. So I was all around Pennsylvania to talk to connect with so many teenagers and their teachers about the signs of a teenager struggling, but also resources that you as a family or as a teacher can give to that teen or even child. I mean, anxiety isn't something that just teenagers and adults deal with. It's also something that younger kids deal with. My little brother, Sandro, he just turned 7. He struggles with severe anxiety as well. So there's different ways to put it at different age groups, and that's the whole point of Project Here. Be an advocate for teenagers and younger children who are in the same situation as I was.
Awesome. Riley. Sydney, tell us a little bit about your platform.
Yes. So my platform also was inspired during COVID. I didn't grow up in a very rich household, so I was able to see my mom struggle and understood that money was super important. Even as a 7, 8-year-old child, I'm like, wow, we need to be able to pay for things, including, menstrual products. So in 2020, I graduated college, and being that it was during COVID, everyone was on a hiring freeze. So I was home by myself, unemployed, because I was not able to get a job. So I followed my mom to CVS one day, and she showed me how to coupon at CVS. I got a very large receipt, and if you've been to CVS and have a card, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And I learned how to coupon now, not only from CVS, but I learned how to coupon at Dollar General. Hundreds of hours on YouTube learning how, what couponing was, how to do it, where to do it. And that inspired me to, one, create my own stockpile. And being that I'm my own person and it's just me, a lot of the stuff that I get for free, if not pennies, I donate to local shelters because, again, while I have a great job, I can't afford to buy hundreds of dollars of supplies to be able to donate. But if I can, put $10 a month into something and give them, to the shelters that truly need it, I can do $10 a month. So my platform, Success Through Savings, really does focus on couponing, but also the financial literacy aspect of, if you're saving $100 a month, where's that $100 going?
Nice. And for all of you that may not know who I am, because you follow me, I am Tamara Abney. So I am the Mrs. I'm old enough to be both of their mothers. I know I look young.
That's not true.
True. I'm 40, so I'm old enough technically to be their moms. But my platform is called Carefree School Days Period, and it's all about making sure that our students have no barriers to the education, and especially no barriers put in place just because they can't afford or can't access menstrual products. So I really, really loved the two of your platforms because I saw a direct correlation between what you do and what I am so passionate about. And in fact, at the Pennsylvania International Pageant, Riley was like the first person to come up to me and talk about menstrual hygiene. So Riley, why don't you talk a little bit about that experience and why you felt a connection to my particular platform?
Yeah, in my personal experience, obviously I'm just 16, so I haven't experienced like my period for like super, super long. But before I started going to the doctor because I was having severe pain when it came to my period, and I was having severe cramps. I couldn't move sometimes, so I couldn't get out of bed to go to school at times. And then even when I did, I would go to the bathroom, and let's say like you started your period at school and you just didn't bring anything with you. And our school used to be really good at like keeping products in our bathrooms, but recently throughout the year, since especially I've been at the high school, there's been none. And you don't get really any lenience when you miss school for that reason, also because they don't think that you're sick. You can't get a doctor's excuse for it. So teachers don't normally see that as like a valid excuse to miss school or to not be able to get up and do your work, especially since a lot of our work is online still from COVID and we have computers. They don't see it as you're too sick to do it. They see it as everyone has to go through it, so you have to suck it up. And I've personally been told that before. I've been told that you're just being dramatic. It's not that bad. Like, every girl goes through it once a month. Like, you can get up and go to school. And that's not always the case. Everyone's body is very different. And for me, I was in severe pain once a month, could not go to school. And there was no even the slightest bit of leeway. And again, like, the products in the schools, like, were horrible, like terrible supplies. Even sometimes the nurse wouldn't even have supplies if you go to her office. And that, I know that's the biggest complaint in girls at our high school.
And Riley, since your platform is connected to mental health and teenagers, how does that affect a teenager's mental health and like your day throughout school?
I mean, it really does take a toll. High school is not an easy thing. People are mean, especially teenage girls. They can be mean. And so sometimes it's embarrassing when you might have to ask for hygiene product, or if you're in the bathroom and you might have bled through something and there's nothing in there to help you, you have to take a walk to the nurse's office and you risk someone like seeing you, or maybe a boy just doesn't understand and they just take it, I don't know, they just take it the normal stereotypical way. So it really does take a toll. And especially since obviously like you're prone to be more emotional at that time too. Something so little that someone says that they might not think is a big deal could be a big deal to you personally. And I've known a lot of people that they just want to go home. They just call their parents, want to go home, hey, this happened. And that also affects their day of learning, because just because one person said this nasty thing to them, they feel like they can't continue through their school day and could miss like valuable information and lessons and everything like that.
Exactly. That's what really it's all about. School days, period. Because like I really want you to be able to go through your school day without worrying about that stuff. Everything that Riley just said happens to girls all the time in schools. And we just really want to make sure that they don't have to do that, because it's embarrassing, dignity, it's a pride thing. And it's just not fair that schools will have toilet paper and paper towels, but they won't have hygiene products. So speaking of access, Sydney, talk a little bit about how someone may be able to use some of your savings tips to help them save on menstrual hygiene products, because it can be very expensive. And for those that may not be aware, government assistance programs do not cover menstrual hygiene products.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that they don't cover that, because it's a basic need. Unfortunately, we can't go about our day and just pretend it's not there. I would love to pretend it's not there, but it is. The great thing about couponing and savings, a lot of times CVS and Dollar General, specifically CVS, will have, buy 15, get $5 back. But when it comes to couponing, you can actually stack coupons. So say Kotex has, buy 2 packs of pads for $8, which, to be fair, I think a pack of pads is about $7. So very expensive. So say they're doing a sale for 2 for $8, but if you go in the app, they might have, a $5 off too. Right there, you'll get 2 packs for $3. And it's not uncommon to be able to go into a store and potentially get money back, or that money back will be paired with a coupon. So I always say I have never paid for a pack of liners, because there's always a sale going on, and I'm very thankful that I'm on the lighter side, so I don't need full-on pads. So I haven't actually had to purchase anything for my period in probably 2 to 3 years, which is not common, but that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it's very important that we have access to those types of products.
Yes. So anyone out there that is struggling to afford menstrual hygiene products, I really suggest that you follow Sydney's page, because she gives Financial Fridays. You give
Yes, yeah.
Friday on how to save money, and that definitely is a way for you to either be like Sydney and not have to pay for pads for like 2 years, or just get through that particular month with a little bit of help. So that's really cool. So I wanted you to highlight, both of you wanted you to highlight what you just said, because that is how our platforms can all intersect with each other. So just because I am focused on menstrual equity and hygiene and access, it is a direct correlation to someone's mental health. And there's a lot of savings tips that you can learn from each other. So fun time. Is everyone ready for their international experience? It is coming up very.
I'm
Go ahead, Riley.
I'm a little stressed out, but I'm I'm excited. It's nice that I get to room with Sydney, so that way I don't have to worry about like rooming with someone I don't know, and it's always nice to like just de-stress after a long day or a long week. So I don't know, I'm really excited about it, and I'm still preparing.
What?
I'm very excited. I actually picked up my last piece for the pageant yesterday from the dry cleaners. I had to get something hemmed because I'm only 5'2". But no, oh, preteen. Oh, I love you so much. So I'm very excited. Again, I'm also very excited to room with you, Riley. It's always nice to have a sister queen with us to talk about all the craziness of the week. But I'm also very excited as I see the countdown to the crowns. I love getting to know all the women that I'm about to meet, and I just want to meet them in person already because they all seem so amazing.
Yes, and I leave on Sunday, which just is like absolutely crazy to me.
Crazy. How are you feeling?
You know what? I'm feeling good. Like I feel good. I feel prepared. I am like winding down. That's why I have like hardly no makeup on, really no makeup, and my hair's back because I'm like I'm just gonna rest for a few days before we're like full glam.
Every day?
So I'm like chilling, but spend some time with like working, ran some, got a oil change for my car. So just doing like things there and also pack. So I officially have kicked my kids out of their playroom, and now that is like an official staging area for me. But I think I'm ready.
No, I'm very excited to see you on stage. I know you're going to do amazing, and I'm so glad that we did this live because, again, it's so nice to see everyone's face right before, especially right before you leave. I'm so sad that we don't have the same week together.
Have each other, and then you can text me.
We'll send
and then,
pictures.
Yes, yes, send pictures. But anything that you want to leave all of our viewers with, and remember there will be people that will watch this after because we'll post it to our pages. But any last thoughts, anything you want them to know about your platform, how they support you in your efforts?
All I can say is to all the other international queens, whether you're a Mrs., Miss, teen, preteen, is good luck during your week while you're down there. Do your best, win or lose, as long as you're happy with your performance and how you did with the judges. That's all you can be proud of yourself, because you don't want to walk into a room and think I could have done better. You want to walk out of the room saying I did the best I could and I'm happy with my performance. And I think that's something everyone needs to take away from the 2 weeks I think we're down there for the misses and the miss and the teen and the preteen.
Riley, perfectly said. I don't want to say ditto, but ditto. That sounds great. But also, as you're preparing for the next couple of days for the misses, and then obviously miss, teen, and preteen in the next week, really take in this moment because it might not happen again. It probably won't happen again unless you're coming back. But just meeting everyone and just live in the moment. Don't think about what's happening in the next 10 minutes, but just what you're doing right then and there. And I mean, the time will pass you by, I'm sure.
And I guess my parting words would be just give it your all. You are down there to not only hopefully get the job of a lifetime, but you are there to make hopefully friendships of a lifetime. So take the time to get to know each other, take the time to listen to each other. We do a 30-second platform speech. I'm really excited about that because that's the time you get to learn about really, really about. So take the time for friendships, take the time to like just soak it all in and take the time to learn, because after the pageant's over, we still have the opportunity to connect and still have the opportunity to support each other's work. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, you're doing it because of service, right? So that's what it's really all about. Oh, we have some comments. Okay. We have a Christina that says, hello, Christina is your biggest fan from Wilmington, North Carolina. And then she says, what's your favorite do the pageant? So I'm assuming she may be saying like, what's your favorite part of the pageant? If anyone wants to answer that. And then Vanessa says, rooting for you all. Can't wait to watch you guys shine. Oh, thank you.
If, I would have
Riley,
to say,
part?
it's tied between private interview and fun fashion. I love private interview because that's like when you really get to tell the judges who you are, why your platform, why you, and you really get to like almost personal connection. I know at States I've definitely done that where I find something in common with one of the judges and we end up talking about that for the fact that I get to know who I am as a person. But I also love fun fashion because you really get to show like your fierce side and You get to do a whole bunch of, you could like spin, it's just so much fun, and you get to work with your fun fashion that you're wearing, and that's definitely one of my favorites.
What about
I love fitness. I think I will always love fitness. It is so upbeat and fun, and I think it just shows not one body is, the perfect body. And I think specifically this system, it just shows like as long as you're confident in who you are, rock it. And I love that part about fitness is you can just go out there, rock it, have a fun time. There's always some upbeat music happening, and obviously I love private interview, but nothing can top fitness for me.
nice? Me, I'm definitely going to say that the on-stage portion of the interview is my favorite, just because, I mean, naturally, I want to talk about what I do. And I want everyone to get really excited. But I'm going to give you a second. It definitely is going to be the evening gown, because I was with my husband. And that, the Pennsylvania pageant was like the most special thing that I've had experienced since probably my wedding. Seeing him on the other side of me, and you're walking back and he's looking at you. It's just a special moment. So I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I do like that part of the misses is that you are together on stage, and I haven't seen that before. So I appreciate that. It's like, here I'm with my husband, we're supporting each other. Watch me shine, and he's there when I come back, and I really do like that.
And I look like looking at the pictures afterwards, because I could tell he was like looking at me.
Are you paying attention?
Oh, like they sure that the husbands are also a part of the crowning moment. I think that's such a special part of all the international pageants, and those are pictures that like you'll probably never get to experience. You'll never get to experience that again. So to have that memory is, I think that's just so beautiful.
It is. It really is. And I'm just so excited to have him down there with me, and for everyone to get to see him on stage as well. Let everyone know, say hi to Sandy. We have our former Mrs. International watching. So thanks, Sandy, for joining us. We hope that we get to meet you when we go to Kingsport. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I will miss you all, but we'll be in touch, and I wish you all the best luck during your competition.
Good.
And
Good luck, good luck, good luck.
I'm going to cry, but I just love you all so much, and I just think this is the beautiful part about the international system, is that you get little sisters as a missus. And there are other systems out there that don't give you this opportunity. So it is actually a very special thing to be able to share your year with such special people. And we're missing our little one, Isla.
But she's awake. She was commenting, so we answered that question.
Should be awake, but she was awake. I don't know if she's on her phone either, but
You're washing, eating pickles.
But this is what makes it so special, that you get to share these moments with people that are like-minded, that are wonderful, that are doing things with the community. And I'm just so proud of both of you and all that you're accomplishing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Stay shining, and I cannot wait to see all of the updates and hear from you all week to see how amazing you're doing, because I know you're going to do an amazing job.
I will look very different than this, everyone.
You look great. You look great.
Oh,
have a good night.
I'll be there at the end of the week. Have so much fun. Okay, Sandy, we'll see you soon. And bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.